So for all of you who have completed grade 3, you might be studying for grade 4 or you might be studying for grade 5 theory, but I'd still like you to do this grade 3 test. And the things that they're covering in this is everything you've done in the chapter. So you've started to learn about demi-semiquavers. You've started to learn about more major keys with 4 sharps and flats, and a few more ledger lines. I think there was a bit of transposition in there, and then you're starting to really understand the difference between compound time and simple time. The more minor keys with 4 sharps and flats. Grouping of notes and rests comes in again, and scales and key signatures. So you had a lot of extra practice on all of those scales. I would say the major and minor keys are some of the harder things to figure out in these grades, especially for those who don't play an instrument. But I think this is mainly for those who do play an instrument. Okay, so you will have hopefully you've got your PDF printed out, and you've got this general exercise which comes from your grade 3 music theory book. Nice, a good, not, you don't want a soft pencil, but you don't want a hard pencil, so something in the middle with the rubber on, and a ruler, small ruler, to make sure you do nice straight lines at the bottom there with your bars. I say this in grade 1, keep everything really neat and even, because the chances of you making a mistake if you've got a good structure are much, much less than if you're messy. So keep it all really neat. Okay, so we're looking at a melody from Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. And you might recognise Beethoven's Fifth Symphony as being this. Yeah, well, this is from one of the middle movements. And the melody, which I'm going to play for you now, because that's going to give you a little clue about the key. And this melody, played by the cellos, as you can see, sounds like this. Okay, so you've got an idea, and you've probably heard that tune somewhere before. Okay, so now it's about answering questions about that. You've not been given a key signature or time signature. You've just been given a clef. This is the clef that the cellos read in, the bass clef. So you're going to have to figure out a few things here. You've got an instruction, andante con moto, which again you need to work out what that means, and you will have had that from your grade 2 and also your performance directions from grade 3. And then you've got your Magsell's metronome mark, quaver equals 92. So if you remember, that's this figure here is we derived that from a minute divided by a second. So you've got to fit in 92 beats or clicks in a minute, and that will be your time. Take it to 60. That's always my advice. It's a good benchmark. So if you work out what your second is, because that's your minute divided by 60, work out what that is, which is about there. Then you can work out pretty much what your 92 would equal. Okay, the key is A flat major, so now you've got to put in your key signature of A flat major. Adding the time signature, so you've got to work out the time signature here, which is fairly straightforward. I'm going to leave you to do that. What's the loudest note? That's pretty easy. In which bars are notes tied? Again, tied notes is something you learnt in grade 1, so that's all very easy too. What do you notice about the pitch of the highest and the lowest notes? So I'll leave you to work out an answer there. Give the meaning of the following. Name the interval between the last 2 notes in bar 6. Last 2 notes in bar 6. So something to note here is that obviously is not just an ordinary A. We now have a key signature. So you've just got to make a note of that. Draw a circle around 3 notes next to each other that belong to the tonic triad. I would just be working out, don't automatically go up here and look for the notes of the tonic triad. The best way of sorting something like this out is look at the individual pieces of information you're being given. Tonic triad. So we know about the tonic triad from grade 1, I think it was. The tonic triad consists of your first, your third, and your fifth note of the chord. The first is your key note, and if you remember, your key note is the first degree. It's got several names, hasn't it? The first degree of the scale, the tonic, or the key note. So that's quite confusing right off the bat, but they all have different names for different reasons, but it's the first degree of the scale, and the first degree of the scale here is obviously A flat. So you know that is A flat. The third, must be C, because literally with the intervals you're counting up on your fingers. It's the best way of doing it. Count the letter names and then worry about what kind of interval it is. So A, B, C. And then your fifth will be from C, D to E. But we know, so put E down, we know in the key of A flat we've got 4 flats, and that's got to be an E flat. Okay, so now we come on to, you should be able to work out now. So now you've got A flat, C and E flat. So you're looking here somewhere where you can find A flat, C and E flat together. All right, so again, I'm going to leave you to work that out. It doesn't have to be in this order, but you're just looking for the notes that belong to the tonic triad, but are not necessarily in the order first, third, fifth. So that gives you a huge clue. All right, transpose the first 4 bars as far as the note marked with an asterisk. Again, it's all about reading the question. So as far as there, and I would make a note of that. So you're looking to the middle or after the first beat of bar 4. So just make a note, bar 4. So bar 4 needs to be around here somewhere, just so that you don't make a mistake on that. Transpose it up an octave, writing in the treble clef. The most important thing about doing something like this is getting your first note right. If you don't get your first note right, the whole thing is wrong, and that's such a waste of your efforts. So really make sure that when you're transposing up an octave, you get this note right. Check it again, and then check it again. Okay? So my tips for the general exercise are all there. Again, if you've got any problems with this, just let me know in the chat line, and good luck with it.